guys, welcome back to whatever.
Channel.
Mace
Why
Guy.
did I just do that?
It is the 2 hour long special. Hopefully it won't go that long because that is a pain in the butt to edit.
Long special.
Yeah. Yeah. Mace Guy. It wasn't that I wanted to stay here forever, but on the other hand, I didn't want to leave so quickly. I didn't think I could leave so easily, or so simply. It had already been 4 days since it was made known to me that I had to move far away. But by the time I hadn't been enough for me to get my things or my thoughts in order. This is one heck of a shock. Even now I was froze by sheer fear of the prospect. A frog wrapped around me. I could hardly think or see straight. I couldn't look my future straight in the eye, so instead I stood, unable to move, and thought of the situation. I could only think myself now I'd be leaving this town. This town that I'd called home for 2 months without having changed a single thing in myself for the better.
Who is unwilling to die.
By I think I meant glaring at a pile of cardboard boxes. I was staring at the suddenly very real, very harsh reality of the situation. All those boxes were signed, of course, but I could hear them accusing me loudly. "You're never coming back here." Leaving nothing of myself behind. There would be no proof whatsoever that I had ever lived here, that I had ever been. I kept coming back to one thought again and again. I was never coming back here. And as for regrets, lips. No regrets. Not at all. I wasn't as lost in self-pity as you might think. No, I was gathering my resolve. Even as I worry like this, I already finished thinking about what I needed to do to justify the choice. I was about to make myself run to the impossible scenarios through my head, and finally steeled myself so I could see this through to the end. Ellipse. Of course, there was something I was leaving behind. Just one. A single thing that would eat me up inside if I left without doing anything about it. Addressing the issue would hurt. Hurt like heck. Probably I knew that. But I also knew if I didn't do this right here and now, the hurt would never ever go away. And maybe for the first time in my life, I was looking straight at it. Straight at the thing that was weighing me down without a sound. Alright then.
Come here, Dollface.
Is this a thing that's holding him down, or is it a certain person we know of? No more thinking. No more torment. No more agonizing. Now is the time for resolution and action. Now is the time to take the first step. So I got off the chair that I had been rooted on and made ready to leave. Opened the door to the hallway, my fifth floor vantage point. The sky looked very high and wide. Ellipse. This is gonna be just as hard for me to read, because this is probably gonna get really. The Kamek Shrine was filled with tons of people today. There were lots of 40-something men. From the looks of it, you would have thought that this place was a factory or a workshop, not a Shinto shrine. Shinto shrine? Shinto shrine?
That sounds like you're saying something entirely different.
Shinto shrine?
Take
There's
the N
another.
out of that, and what do you get?
I know, but there's another novel where this is mentioned in it. I'll show you later. That's a really good one, for more than one reason. Believe me, you'll like it. They were standing on these huge plastic sheets that had been spread out on the ground. It seemed like they were repairing a portable shrine, the kind that's used for festivals. And there were lots of middle-aged women here as well. They all looked very busy preparing tea and what have you. And all around us were rows of banners which were written, May Shrine, May Festival. They were fluttering around in the wind. Could you please not do that?
Oh, it's broken. Look at it. This one's broken.
As a small shrine as this was, food stands had already claimed as much space as they could find in the grounds. Their signs advertised Iskasoba, chocolate-covered bananas on a
I'm going to rage.
onokomiyaka. I'm good at pronouncing some Japanese words, even though I really don't know much.
Well, I like.
Konnichiwa. Hello.
Aikusawa.
Is that even...
Hola, senor.
It's not Japanese at all, Lance.
I know.
Hola, yes. Hola, senor, I say. Me no speak el español.
I'm trying to pick my car.
Every so often there was a hesitant part practice of the
Our
fifth,
spot's already raw.
a fife and drum, and the traditional Japanese ballads. You know,
Now push
all
too
kind
hard down on
that
that
yell
thing there.
madness. This
Oh, what? Like,
is
Yeah,
Japan
it's wrapped around the whole entire thing.
at you before you kick the bottomless pit
wait,
that were roaring forth.
how do you open
Portable
back doors?
PA system. Someone apparently
Like,
jury rigged. I've never heard
what
that
does that
before.
It's supposed to allow friendlies to come in, but when you're
Festival. What
in
festival?
tournament mode,
So different from what I'm used to seeing here. I must have looked like a deer caught in the headlights in front of the sanctuary. Minori, in all of her robed glory, chose that very moment and turned around and saw me gaping. Was she wearing sneakers as usual? No matter how long I was around her, I'd never gotten used to that. But that wasn't what I was gaping at least not today.
man, your girl got a phone?
Oh, hey. Morning, Mr. Mizuguchi.
I don't know if she...
Hey, so what the heck are you... What the heck is going on here?
Asked her if she had a phone?
What? Didn't I tell you about this? Today's festival, I mean? No, this is the first I've heard of it. Maybe I forgot to tell you. Well, you can see there's a festival today. A May festival, huh? I asked, pointing at the banners fluttering around. Minori bobbed her head up and down in response. Yep, a May festival. It's got some real history in it, to it actually. People around these parts have been celebrating it forever, more or less. She said, all outgoing with pride. She seemed like a little kid showing off some prized possession, going, look, isn't it awesome? And there, I was thinking, no. I have no idea what you're talking about. 600 years or so ago, the 5th month of the old calendar, this town was suffering a severe drought. He started praying for rain and made it a festival. Minori uncovered under corrected demonstration that bear with me here, please. Brevity was the soul of brevity. Apparently, it used to be a really elaborate affair, but these days we just hold a festival shrine around town and call it a day. They finished their explanation of a huge frickin' grin. Minori, you look like you're having way too much fun here. Ah, boo. Mr. Mizuguchi, aren't you feeling the least little excited? A festival. Shouldn't you at least be rising over shadowed mountains blazing with Japanese power? As an American, this makes no sense to me, but It's just because of my
Doesn't
culture.
even make any sense if it's Japanese. I mean,
Yes, I like festivals.
Dude.
They have a boys and girls day there. What are you talking about?
If you knew their laws, you wouldn't want to go there. No offense to any of you, to any of those who were born and raised there. I just couldn't live in that kind of environment. I'm sorry.
I don't know what's wrong with
Yes,
you,
I like festivals. This, however, was not a
Let me
festival.
just put it to you this
It
way.
was.
The rules
Jesus.
are almost, you can almost not follow
But
them.
I did not feel like rising over
While
shadowed
trying to
mountains or
follow.
blazing with power. Japanese or no? Well, whatever.
Kind of old,
Mr. Mizuguchi,
Person
you
asked
know,
a question,
representative,
chop off your head.
you know, as a representative of
Wow.
Japan, you are epic fail.
For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
So in impotence,
So if someone's
you are
just
going to
in the
have to
mood,
buy me
they
a
just walk up
chocolate-covered
to you.
banana. All right?
Dude, I
Wait a sec. What do I
Plus,
What
I
do
don't
I do?
agree with their backwards
Aren't
Southern
you
tradition.
gainfully?
Dude,
Aren't you
that's
gainfully
the
employed?
technique of,
It's okay.
dying of-
I'll give you
with,
something in return
honor.
later.
Oh.
You
yeah.
say that, but
Yeah, that's kinda stupid.
I won't be here in a few more days. I
No
bite
offense
down on the
to
words
people.
that were about to fall out from my unthinking lips. Well then, actually, I don't have the time to be chatting with you.
Yeah, but my boss.
Why? What do you have to do? They're having me play some
Is
fife.
there-
They're having me play the fife during the procession.
Chuck Norris?
I can play the piano
No, that's
fine,
my
but well,
dad's beer.
I used to play a flute back in middle school, but that only lasted a year or two, or so.
Funny, right?
Drum is my weapon of choice.
You can't tell when they're gonna die.
$60 for a nice drum set.
Actually, you can.
Good money.
Like that.
With that, Minori reached inside her sleeve and pulled out a fife. When she closed her eyes and brought
What?
the instrument to her lips,
Hate beer, man.
she looked every bit shrine maiden from ancient times. The fife's high, comforting tone echoed through the area. Anyway, gotta go practice now, okay? Now, as for you, Mr. Mizuguchi, well, Minori turned around and started talking to a group of men that were utterly absorbed into something involving sheets of plastic. I brought you some fresh blood. He's young, I'm sure that he can do some heavy lifting or whatever else you have in mind. It was a beautiful introduction, as evidenced by how every pair of eyes gathered focused on me. Minori, I glared daggers. She returned a smile. Now you go get him.
What album is it?
Now you go get him, Mr. Mizuguchi. Without even giving the time to protest, Minori went running toward the main sanctuary, leaving me behind with an army of geezers staring me down. I like that sentence. Hey, lips. Geezers. An awkward silence descended upon us. Fight or flight response kicked in. I had some decisions to make. Stay or go. I am Hikari Harakui I said it right. Haruki Mizuguchi. Pleased to meet you all. And that's how my first and last act of service in this community began. Oh ho ho. Mizuguchi, me boy. You're in pretty good shape. It was totally complete. Not gratifying to hear. Ellipse. The geezers all stood around with cigarettes in their hands. They looked completely satisfied.
Oh my god.
Not bad.
Up there.
Not bad, Hikari. Yeah, Haruki.
Forget his head.
Haruki.
Oh,
Haruki.
Sorry,
Okay.
Huh?
I never should have come. I was the only guy who could not call,
Play my iPad much.
who could call
Me
young
too.
here. Who you could call young here, and so all
You
the
want me to just-
backbreaking layer was
No.
left for me and my back over here.
I wanted you to.
You know, the worst part, all the geezers looked more muscular than me. But that didn't stop them from making me do all the grunt work. Because you're so young. Nope.
Yeah, like when I was shot with the gun, like you just-
Maybe this was my day job. Maybe this was how my day job would end up too.
Whoa.
God, that was a depressing
That
thought.
is-
That's Dollface's mask up close.
How'd you get that up close?
I don't. The game does by itself.
Oh, because you were jerking off.
Yep, and I had her in it.
Wow.
That-
is-
Be that as it might, the work here at least seemed to produce visible results. The festival shrine had started out covered in dust and grime, and now was transformed into a splendid, imposing piece of craftsmanship. It may be because I owed metamorphosis, but the shrine seemed like an absolute work of art in
I
my
haven't
eyes.
seen Dollface.
Meaning, of course, that it was all too easy. I roped up into doing these things, and then feeling good about that. The grounds were noisy with the bustling old men and women, the strikes of the drums from within the sanctuary, the high voice of Minori's fife. This mishmash of sounds, oddly enough, felt so pleasing to my ears, even though this was about as far away from cadences of a piano as you could get. The breeze whispered through, tickling the trees their newborn leaves. The sun high and warm. The barley tea I was profounded with, absolutely delicious. I like tea too. Twilight was drawing near. Ellipse, 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 ellipse. The May festival began with an opening statement
What's the bottom
from the
one
chief
for?
priestess of the Kmek Shrine. What?
I see it says speed and then it has the armor.
That's
on it.
that's the bottom line is the amount of damage that the special weapon does.
By the way, her name was Mizohu Kmek. She was Minori's aunt, and she was a gorgeous lady. Was one gorgeous lady. After Minori's aunt had given a short, simple take on history behind this May festival, we all moved the festival shrine to the main event. The enthusiastic old men were wearing their festival Hayton jacket and their traditional headbands carried by the shrine
Really sucks.
like
this
a
guy does have really good traction.
black wing on their shoulders. In the parade marched along a 1 kilometer route. The rhythms of fife and drum occasionally noisy, and mainly the blast from the PA system, we had become the
What?
boisterous whole, or one less swaggering through in unity. And as for me, I imagined that I'd be here in this town at this festival, the official processional celebrant. And the Geezer Liberation Army had apparently taken the real shrine to me, so just like that, no question asked, they'd given me a spot.
The normal sweet laughing ghost.
My immediate neighbor was Minori, and our usual shrine maiden, grabbed, fingers flying as she nimbly played on her fife. Hey, you're pretty good at that thing. She answered with her eyes only, and continued playing without a single pause. Been practicing hard? She nodded, her fingers flying simply over the instrument.
I thought you did this
As
on my
ever.
house.
Her lips.
Yeah, this one's a bitch.
I could hear extraordinary Lee Geezer shouting,
I don't think
heave
you
ho,
understand trying to
heave
spread.
ho, with all their might. Minori, it'd be pretty good. It'd be pretty bad if someone had made
Actually
you
thought
crack
about
up
getting
right
one.
now,
You
correct?
should. It's really awesome, man.
Minori,
Yeah, when you can play online with me.
with the feeling,
But yeah, if you simply make it a camera.
with feeling,
No,
though I
actually,
could
it's not
say,
that.
but sort exaggerated, shook her head from side to side. But she looked as if she hadn't realized that she had fallen neatly into my trap. It's a fact that taller people do sleep longer in bed. We A shrill note screeched out, and the rest of the sounds Minori followed with a fight. You jerk.
Yeah, and the longer that you were outside the cage.
Ah, good prank.
the more
Good
time
prank.
you lose.
Like, I don't remember what someone did, but I was
Well,
playing
that
with the
was,
Crash, and I was trying to get their attention because they were playing too loud with the guitars,
That thing comes
and I hit the Crash symbol too hard, and I put a big old dent in it. So I've got a dented Crash symbol now. 2 dents in it, actually. I don't know how to fix that. I really need to. Incredible karate chop came crashing into me, and as easily as anything, she quickly went back to performing. Sorry, Minori, I couldn't help it. I just had to see what would happen. I was trying hard not to smile, only half succeeding. When I glanced over at Minori, I saw her eyes were overflowing with wrath. Ellipse, 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 ellipse. So many dang ellipses. I've read well over an hour's worth of this tonight, so I am well tired. Oh my god, I didn't think to check to see.
No.
We filled the streets with the sounds of the fife and drum and yelling, encouraged the leaders. We hold the shrine down
Dude,
around,
chance of my dad going to
all the
church
while
is
passing
dead.
through houses and scenery streets of the city I had only known for 2
You
months.
think you wouldn't come up
I
with
didn't
dance
recognize most of the streets or places I walked through. It brought me home
or not?
more than ever, since my time here had been so brief. Now the sun had set, twilight had arrived, something small and painful shuddered inside my heart for a beat,
You don't think
then was gone. Ellipse, 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 ellipse. The evenings,
Trying to be careful.
it was evening at the shrine. There was sound of anticipatory
that's all ice,
tap,
right?
tap, tap
Yeah.
on the wine cask
Maybe that's-
being opened with a wooden mallet, then with a wave of applause. After the parade, the shrine on the final event of the May Festival took place. Getting our drinks on. Yep. Inside the Kamek Shrine were Rakuas begin
Booze,
with
mate.
the beginnings of what seemed to me a party to end all parties. Yep. This was legitimately a part of this festival. But I could see plenty of geezers who seemed like they had just come for this part.
Oh, no.
Sake, beer, sushi, appetizers, and more were piled atop of plastic placemats. Apparently, I was considered one of those guys because I was half asked and half dragged by them to a seat, and not to mention loaded into drinking sake.
Oh, sake sucks, man.
Just when the alcohol had almost washed away my resolve to do what I'd come to this place to do in the first place. Hey, Mr. Mizuguchi,
So if you're the first one outside the
Minori,
door,
not so far away, started waving me over. The geezer brigade, totally wrong idea, and started walking at me. And Wolf
do you pretty
whistling
good.
at her. I left the party, then went towards the sanctuary. What's up, Minori? Mr. Mizuguchi, I want to come have dinner. Mr. Mizuguchi, want to come have dinner with me tonight? With me? Tonight, my entire family is pretty much here at this festival, so... There's plenty of food and room at the festival dinner. Yeah, it's true, but... You saw yourself, right? The geezer at Grand Central over there? I'm bored like crazy if I stay. I looked back. This time I was checking every person sitting at the party. It was true. Nobody even close to Minori's age group. One old guy was holding a karaoke mic and singing some random song, and the people around were applauding. Faced with a spectacular Minori gave a tortured smile. So please, let's go eat. And someone somewhere in my heart whispered, because this is goodbye. Yeah, Let's get out of here. Wow. Like, if I have a choice, I'm not letting him say goodbye. Just a little thing of what I'm going to do. The moon and forest.
Why are you all red?
Me?
Because I'm out of grace period. And during when I'm sort of in my grace period, it pretty much means I'm gonna keep taking damage for no reason.
The moon was full in the splendor of night. A great hustle and bustle continued to resound from the Kmek shrine grounds. Ellipse, 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 ellipse. The green tea was warm, and it was bitter. Our guy doesn't look like he's so easygoing tonight. He's like, I'm in deep doo-doo.
What? Wait, hold on.
See the little drop up there?
Yeah.
That basically tells he's nervous.
Oh, dude, you need help. Help.
We were at one of those self-serve sushi bars near the shrine. It was definitely a full house tonight. We were once again surrounded on all sides by a lively, noisy crowd. Minori and I sat at stools at the counter. Our shrine maidens' robes were attracting fascinating glances from all around us. Not that the wearer of those robes appeared to notice that at all. Between us, next to Minori, rose a staggered right tower flaunting terrible heights, bearing down on me. Minori? What? Indeed, we both architected the builder of the great tower, and even as she resounded, she grabbed another helping a tuna. Can't we forget what I said back then?
Not really.
What? Didn't you say you'd treat me as soon as you got your paycheck?
Grab it. Go.
That's why I've been.
Wait, help there.
She pointed at the Lofi tower she had built from the ground up. 20 plates. No wonder I was scared stiff. Minori, why are you eating all this?
How long came this wheat bar for?
I got more room for dessert and sushi. She declared as she declared as if it were obvious and natural. And while it wasn't obvious or natural to me, well, at any rate, the result was stacked up in front of me.
That.
Oh no, don't even go there, Mr. Mizuguchi. A man doesn't go back on his word, you know. I'll pay. Right. I'll pay, so put your heart at ease. Thanks. Minori was far too pleased with that when I saw I had heard my wallet scream in fear. Farewell, my beloved 10,000 yen note. It'd be nice if we could meet again someday.
You're reading, bro. You getting tired?
This is my very first paycheck since I started work, you know. So, don't spend too much, you hear? Oh, you got paid? Congratulations, man. Phillips congratulated me with her hands reached for her 22nd plate, this time with tuna and onions. All you had is tuna. Aren't you tired of it by now? Not hardly. Her answer was clear enough, and a smile on her face was unbelievable. For the first time, I think she could out-eat you, Lance. Minori, this is a 20-plate stack.
I could do better.
Yeah, I could eat more.
Answer. This was the first time I'd ever seen anyone
My stomach's like a black hole.
wring this much enjoyment out of pouring soy sauce into a dish. Oh man, I'm so happy right now. Simple minds, simple pleasures. That's fine. Happiness can be
I'd be
surprisingly
even more
simple.
proud of it if it was abs.
After
What's that?
simple thing, after all.
I'm proud
Oh.
of my stomach. It's like
Can
I'm
you
gonna
order
go,
some-
this is my black belt.
Dude, if you get an
Zucchi-
abs and someone hits you there,
some
it's not gonna have,
zucchini
like,
roll
a
and a
water
roll.
effect. It's gonna,
And a
they're
bento
gonna-
roll?
They're probably gonna break their
For
ribs.
me, please.
So, what would you
Come
like?
on.
To
Do
be
that for
made
yourself,
to
will you?
Just sit there and be like,
But
"Dang it,
having
why'd you
said
do
that, I made the order
all the
anyhow.
time?"
After I've done so, I suddenly realized how accustomed I'd become to our pointless bickering. The character from a families and children
For
clear,
eating, I
the
mean.
clear voices of radios and background music.
Yeah,
The
I'm proud
sushi
of
place
it for how much
was
food
full
it
of so many
I'm just not
pleasant
proud of it
sounds.
for how it looks.
And at the counter sat
If
a
it
shrine
was
maid
ab-
with
if
her
it was
mouth
abs,
open
I'd be a lot more proud
and full of tuna and
of
sushi.
myself.
Yeah, you'd be like, look, Sid.
And a man with his mouth open in shock and devoid of tuna and sushi.
She'd be like, yeah, this is bad.
No, Sydney's not.
That man, by the way, was carrying a sorrow deep within him, the knowledge that this would be the very last time he'd be here with this girl, and nobody knew or noticed the pain, nor the staff, nor the patrons, or even the girl. That girl.
Oh, hell.
At least as far as this restaurant went,
Yeah, try that.
God in his heaven. God was in his heaven, and all was right with the world. But this was a complete opposite within me. I was relentless, uneasy.
Drive me in China.
He's losing his resolve.
Oh, dark side.
With that weight, I would have
Oh,
said,
Lord.
with the burden of how I felt,
Burn it with fire!
I was
Not me, stupid dark side.
begosh. But the reason I started talking everything within me, and I turned to tell her. So,
Because everybody hates
I'm
us.
moving away from this town. I knew, obviously, I knew this, and yet I turned away from
Why
it.
are they not world renowned?
And all the while, I sat disappointed with my lack of courage. The plates of sushi covered,
Actually, yes, they are.
the belt, round,
A lot of people back in
green tea was
back in
warm,
my
and
dad's day
it was
made
bitter.
fun of me 'cause
Your lips, your lips, your lips, your lips. This is getting sad.
Small, little crappy.
I owe you one.
Still, they look good.
I owe you for now, right?
Well, it's just Chris.
We were walking back to the sushi restaurant. I was still warm from dinner. The cool night air felt
Alright,
pleasant.
man, I need to clean mine up too.
It was
man.
9 p.m. The streets had fallen into a complete
I
silence.
tried dust cleaning.
A silence that was so complete that footsteps
That's
rang.
actually how you ruin it.
In the end of the course, we had racked up an absence of total meal. I'd never seen a clerk tilt his head
that can ruin
to
the
the side in
drinks.
disbelief before. First time for everything, my man.
I don't use them.
And when we were at the register, having our bill counted up, I thought myself that I kept my promise to her, and realized how frickin' pathetic that was.
Well, you have an 84.
For what? For that's how many times you paid for my way for something. Hey, wait, I lavished that much money on you? Well now, twice since the tea and the sweets, right? And there was that time you bought me food and dinner plus sushi just now. That was 4. That's true then, I thought to myself. Why was it the events that had only happened a week ago had wait and felt so long? Far away memories.
Kind of stain, dude.
Oh man, I know how that feels.
You know, like kind of like a birch.
God,
Kind of like
just in 1 month I blew this much money on you. Uh-huh. I see you're pretty generous guy after all. I thought you were like a total
He got his brand new in plastic.
misery. At first, man, what a surprise. Surprise? Not to be offended. I'm generous, all right. Isn't all this proof? Yep, you're right. Thank you. Ellipse. Minori? You don't get off with this with just a thank you. So are you gonna repay? Uh-huh. You got me there. You had no intention on repaying me. Obviously. She had such a wide, sparkling smile on her face, with no ill will or malice. The same one had tricked me into treating her 4 times in a row already. Oh well, I guess you're right. I had some money saved up for my work, so I'll think about it. Excellent. I'll be waiting. I want a barbecue. Awesome barbecue. Stop that, Mizuguchi. There's a huge difference between how your company and my part-time job pay. Are you trying to make me cry? Oh, alright. Fine. Let's see then. I thought about restaurants. I imagined choosing a place to take her. I imagined my choice making her perk up with glee. But then there was a fundamental problem with this. I'd be gone soon. I'd never get to see her perk up like that ever again. And suddenly my mood deflated. I could feel how serious the situation this was. I could hear the clock ticking. Ellipse. Remember to pick something cheap, okay? For instance, a coupon for a free soda massage would be fine. Hey Minori, what are you planning to do after this? Well, I'm going home. And I knew the next word out of her mouth would take me one step closer to our end. Would it be alright if I went back to the shrine? I want to listen to you play the piano. Oh no, this is gonna... Oh good lord. I feel like this is gonna be a Phil strip.
Man, dude, man. You shouldn't know what that did. Oh, man.
A silent night covered the streets and houses. We walked past our
I was
little
actually doing like good. I actually
footsteps in my voice.
kills off, man.
Minori looked completely mystified by my request, but she agreed to do it without a second thought.
Let's see if I can do this.
And now we were mendoring our way through a gentle direction of the shrine.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
When I looked
Pop your knuckles.
When I looked up, I could see the crescent moon in the sky. A bright,
No, that's that.
it's clear, a bright jewel floating upon a vast sea. Moonlight that spilled down on us was now full of mystery, and so full of light. Ellipse. Whoa!
Oh.
Everyone's gone now, huh?
Let's use my favorite character.
The party had wound down by the time we arrived.
Other than Mr. Green.
Wow. The cleaning frenzy must have gone on. All evidence of said party was completely wiped away. Inside the temple grounds, every one of our footsteps crunched on the sand,
Okay, dude, that's good.
distractingly loud. Cool ruffle of
Feel good
leaves
now?
on the trees, they swayed rustling sounds. The air had taken
How was it?
on the same crisp coldness. Minori grumbled, "It's cold,"
Are you
in a
fixing
small
this?
voice.
What?
A beam of warm light, much like the spotlight, really focused on a spot on the familiar stone steps. Oh, this is the entrance to the shrine, isn't it?
Instead of using the submachine gun, which
And amidst the area, something gloomy in the darkness, the glow of those stone
I'm
steps
using the military guns and that sort of got
was the only illumination. The pale, diffused light seemed almost like a ghost light from some fantastical tale come to life. It seemed like that I stood on the filmy curtain between reality and illusion. I had never been convinced of the solid, real, sunlit stone steps in this way. Finally, I can actually talk without being interrupted.
except for by game explosions.
Pale light seemed almost... Yeah, I already read that. So, Mr. Mizuguchi, why do you think the light is here? Minori asked me with a smile as we stood under the warmly colored light. Who knows? What? So people can pray on the shrine even during the night? Epic fail. Yet again. Epic fail yet again, man. Question mark? Thing? I looked up at Minori with confusion. She grinned happily and said, "The light is here because..." She twirled and spoke. Long sleeves flowed, turned, circled around her and drawn. Because it's oh, kicking it up a notch again, huh? Romantic.
Just
That was
gotta do
quite
that very slowly,
declaration.
bro. You want to get it. You want to make sure that you want to take your time when it comes to dating.
This accelerated fast, only in a week or two. She pointed up at the light as if she wanted it here for us, for the U.S. Army, and yay, the U.S. and flashed me at this and yelled, I am an army of one, and you can see how right I am. Your lips. What? Come on, don't tell me you weren't joking. Yep, no joke, alright. She reported in total sincerity. Great. Now I was starting to get a headache. I really love this light. It gives off so much warm feeling. Besides, somehow, there's something really nice about the way it makes you feel. Minori looked up at the light that was installed in the shrine's rooftop. With that, the darkness around us was the illumination above Minori's. Bangs cast a vivid shadow on her face, contrasting how pale her skin looked under the lights. I gazed at her side profile. It really was as if she was on stage, dramatic under the spotlight. Maybe she had been right after all. Maybe this really was, quote-unquote, romantic. Okay, time to start playing, I guess. Any requests? I don't have anything special in mind. Same as ever. Like I never have any idea what you're actually listening or not. She shrugs her shoulders. I looked at me with mild annoyance. She took off her sneakers and opened the lattice door. Man, it's pitch dark in here. Some light made it through the holes in the lattice and fell on something inside the room. Everything else was enshrouded in darkness. It really is dark, Minori. Can you play a piano like this without any light? Sure, my fingers remember everything. And so a girl who wore the robes of a true shrine maiden spoke the words of a true pianist and walked across the threshold of the lattice door. There was a dull thump against, and a howl of Minori's anguish sounded to me, like she'd stubbed her toe on the piano. Hey Minori, you okay in there? I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, and I'm fine, it just hurts like a... I couldn't see through the darkness, but I would have bet there were tears in her eye. Next instant, I heard a heavy scraping sound of the piano bench being dragged across, and the sound of the piano key lid opening. Okay then, here I go. Right. Yep. Piano music started. I thought I could see a brilliant notes dancing in the light. Nori was calling forward. The air in the place changed in an instant. I remained on my feet, the moon high in the dark night sky. It wasn't until the moment that I realized this, but it was only ever since I had come to this town, ever since I had met Minori, that I had taken to observing the sky like this. The waxing moon, waxing crescent, that means it's getting bigger. I know a bit about science. Filled the sky and the evening air. The cool evening air with the brim of gentle light. There was not a stir in the wind or blast of the rain. There was nothing in the world but the piano's tones. Everything else had been washed away, and the temple remained, and only the temple had remained. The cosmos was in its whole set of stone steps, which there was only music and light. Ellipse. Then I saw the moon hovering in the main night sky. All I was doing was staring at it. That night, I would remember the rest of my life. The brightness of the moon, its light slightly misted over the clouds, smoothing coldness across the wind, and tender caresses laid on my skin. The sound of the piano, melody soothed my heart, played by the girl whom I might have never met at all. I willed myself to remember everything, for there would be no one more time. The way this guy thinks is kind of annoying and really, really sad. Oh, good Lord.
Oh God.
Why?
I'm in the trading station.
Is that bad?
Yeah. There's a subway in this level.
Closed my eyes. The world vanished. The only thing left was the voice of the piano. Under the light, upon the stone steps inside the small, illusionary world, was the two of us, and the timbre of the music resonated deeply within each and every fragment of my heart. Ellipse. I crossed off an item of my list of things to do before leaving. I knew that in years to come, I would remember these moments, these notes, the way each one of them touched my heart. Wow. This is getting really feelsy. So there's just one last item left now. There's only one thing left to say. Minori would probably respond in my words of her classic dry as dust witticisms, which I suppose I was doing in a turn of cynic now, believing in which such conviction. I looked at the moon suspended in the May sky as I underneath it. My breath became like a miracle from the sea. That's another game I'm going to go back to, is Voices from the Sea. Get a bit done in it, like the extras. I'm going to do the extras, or at least I plan on it. After I'm done with this, the melody was warm and gentle. At the end of the days, I waited patiently for the time the music would end, that the lattice door would open. I waited patiently for every moment when the music would end, and the words farewell would come crashing down on us at last. Oh man, he can't do this. Like, this would make me mad at him. Like, I don't think that this guy's gonna be a douche. As time went by, the little concert at this little world finished, and I heard the sounds of the heavy piano bench being moved, and the sliding sound indicated that the lattice door had opened. Like every previous time, Minori reappeared from inside. Minori? Yes? The warm, clear light poured down on the two of us. I drew one deep breath. I'm leaving town tomorrow. And for that instant, the sound of all the time in the world held its breath. Say, what? I had been bracing myself for a trademark Minori's response. Oh, really? Don't screw it up. It was more like a line with that I had been imagining. But instead, she just looked at me, her face filled with sorrow. Her eyelashes quivered slightly, as though she was trying to hide what she was feeling. And I didn't say what I feel anymore. Should I be happy about this or sad? Well, sad. Okay, this pro tag is making me mad. Like, I'm genuinely mad at him for not quitting. Like, my motto was never give up. But in this case, give up!
Never give up.
I mean,
know that.
not like that. Not with the girl. I'm talking about quit his job.
Oh, well then, yeah, definitely quit it.
I should be happy about the foundations of my world were shaking. Should I be happy that the foundations of my world were shaking, while the strings of my heart were tugging? Just to see her look this way. Minori was staring at me, something like pleading, trying to find its way from her eyes into mine. Oh my god. Oh my god. This guy is not known as a douchebag protagonist to me, but he is going that way. In so many ways. Underneath the spotlight, this road democrated, the stone steps and moon, beautiful, graced and comforted. I can't even read this. All the things that had happened this month were about to turn into memories. Yeah, don't do it, man. I felt the coldness of the stone steps. The light from above streamed directly on the two of us. Us only. Minori was staring blankly at the path we had taken on the stone steps, just like she'd done the day in the rain. Mr. Mizuguchi, well, did they tell you that you had to go? Minori's voice filled with empty, silent compound. Last Tuesday, my training is over, so it's time to move on. I see. Congratulations. I'm reading this and sad because it is sad. The words came out like a breath. Small sigh. When are you moving? The moving company is picking up my stuff tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, I'm going to be in a bullet train and out of here, probably around noon. So soon? It's not even enough time for a proper farewell, is it? That's true. The silence had a bitter taste in my mouth, and I didn't know why. But every word I felt ground out of me. It came with a crushing pain in my chest. When I didn't speak, it hurt just the same.
This game's fun.
The game I'm playing right now is genuinely sad.
This game's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like me.
Even though I spent all my time since I'd received the news last week preparing for this moment, I'd spent building up my hard calusas around my heart trying to guard it. It seemed the protective layers were being punched through, just as a thin sheet of paper. Well, yeah, the bullet train. So that means that you're going far away. I told her where I was going. It was far away, so far that I wouldn't just come back. Not easily. So far. That's right, really far. Faraway places had a large distance between them. Go me, future poet. Laureate of Japan. Silently, my heart was being crushed. Minori, expressionless, lowered her gaze. The light traced contrast to the light shadows of her small shoulders. Make your mind up. Jesus, protag. Like, this doesn't make me feel any better than you do, because I'm reading this, and most reads actually affect the reader too. You didn't know, people. I recommend reading this. Like, if I can't find the original download link that I got this from, like, I might upload it to Mediafire, and then if Mediafire has a problem with it, I might have them tell me where the original link's at. So, the distance between us is short. And indeed, 5 centimeters. No more, no less. I just reached out with my hand. I could touch her shoulder. Without a moment's delay, though, came the most unbidden to me. And in 2 days, 5 centimeters between us would expand to hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. Minori. Yeah? From somewhere within, I thought Somewhere within, a thought ran through my head. I wish I didn't have to say this. I had to draw things close, and it was true. So true it would hurt. I drew the words out of me, and I had to say, I won't be coming back here. I thought perhaps the breath caught up for a mere instant, then she froze. In a moment, she tripped on the line I delivered. Now, no matter what was done, what was said, the end would be the same. I see.
Chris, look at this.
Quit the job. I see it.
How good does it look?
Good, I guess.
I mean, for this game.
Good, except I'd go with an actual bumper on the truck instead of a piece of plank.
I can't do anything about that. All I can do is just change the paint job.
I'd go with a bit less rust and more weapons.
Game can't do anything about the rust or weapons. But
Under the light that
there
was
is a
shown,
truck other than this one.
under the light was shown with the power of fairy tales. In this world, nothing seemed quite real anymore. She raised her face. The words came out like a sigh. She looked at me. Spotlight shone on her face.
Say hello to Juggernaut. The biggest
Good.
boss. Other than the Grimm Brothers, Iron Maiden, and
Iron Maiden?
not the Iron Maiden you're thinking, but and the Circus of Carnage.
I mean, did I tell you
This
that was
thing
a...
is pretty much indestructible.
Did I tell you about the pun that was made on here about how tight her grip was? He called her an Iron Maiden.
It's not really a smart move.
And then flimsy smile worked its way onto her face. I see. So we'll never meet again, I never seen a smile, pain and fleeting, as this one on her face. I'd never known she could look this way. I felt the pain in my chest, as if my chest were being crushed. The world seemed to become a little more vivid, a little more stark to my eyes. My gaze fell upon Minori. I wondered what kind of expression she saw. She gazed into my eyes. We were so close yet so far away, and she leaned forward, and the distance between us would only increase. This world filled with silence, cut by a sharp breath of wind. It looked like a desolation to come straight in the eye. And there was something I had to say. Minori. I really had a lot of fun this month. A lot happened, huh? Did you have any fun? I don't think I'll ever forget this month. Thank you. Oh, but Dad, please. Please pick option 2. Please. No, don't leave. Don't make us mad, please. This is sad. With every syllable I spoke as if it were destroying something precious and grinding every scrap into I'll pause this. I'll be back in a bit. I gotta take a break. Sorry about that. I just had to collect myself for a minute. With every single syllable I spoke, it felt as if I were destroying something precious, grinding every scrap into dust. Lips. Lips. Those really do sound like the words someone who's never coming back. Because they are. It made us both smile a bit. At how unlike this whole conversation was. Tension around us relaxed a tiny bit. And there was something I had to say. Well, what is it? You know, Minori? Hi. The moon above was a graceful crescent, and the breeze swept through was refreshing. The surrounding darkness was enfolded in silence. In the middle of all that, there wasn't a single thing in my head. Just smooth form, the words and sentence themselves. Because there's something I needed to be said. Something that I wanted to say. Not hopes that something would happen between us, nothing like that. There's something I needed to show her. My feelings, my loneliness, my pain, my gratitude, and all that was my warmth. And so, I don't remember my own confession of love. Oh man. A short silence seemed to drag on forever. Eventually, my precious foggy field of vision, Minori's form seemed to cross me. Oh, god dang it. I'll be back in a bit. Hey
Did I
guys.
just call it Rhino or Dark Side?
Rhino. Yeah. Okay, I'm back for my little break. Yeah, it's been an hour. Sorry. Sunlight. The sight of her eyes. The sight of her eyes. Her sad eyes. My heart twisted into a bitter knot. Well now, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I'm the kind of drawing a blank here. I have no idea
This
what I'm
looks
supposed
awesome right
to
here.
say.
It's got sort of that faded flag look.
She took a quick deep breath, as if trying to calm her nerves. You're so unfair. The response to my words were of love were not a yes nor a no, but an attack. You don't get this. You're never coming back, even though it's like you're ever going to see me again. You just say what you feel like saying? What am I supposed to do with my feelings now? You've got a total advantage. You're a coward and a cheat. I'm sorry, Minori. Just say the words. Say I'm quitting and go work in a convenience store. You'll probably make a lot of money because you're in Japan, and yeah, live happily ever after.
Actually, getting a job in Japan sucks, man. It's hard.
I don't know, go to art school and become an anime drawer. That pays good. Or actually, no, it don't. No, it don't. I forgot about that. I've seen that. I'm sorry, Minori.
Whoever tells you that anime pays really good
I forgot I saw the video on it. A lot of the old...
clearly doesn't know what the frick they're doing.
Yeah, I seen that about that. And a lot of the old anime people don't even like the new anime industry. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Like Hayao Miyazaki, he doesn't really like the modern anime industry. Another big one don't.
It's pretty bad. Even the hentai guys don't like that.
I think it's only because it's the last time we'll never see each other again. That I was able to get myself up to say anything to you. There was a frank tenderness to the silence between us. It was frightening. I don't really know if I like you that way. I mean, I never thought about it you in that way either, so... Those words of rejection came. They should have shattered my heart, but they did no such thing. I felt become my heart was gentle, and I waited. I waited forever if they need to be our next words. But still, without you, I'll be alone. And that would kind of suck. It pained me to see her so sad, but made me happy as she has moved to such sadness. It was all so conflicted. Yeah, it's kind of true. It's gonna be lonely. She turned her gaze towards me inside so long it moved the air around me. I feel alone. All alone. But anyway, good luck with your new job. She smiled the way a girl might smile when someone stabbed her in the heart. I guess she really was. I guess that really was the way she felt about this whole
girls
thing.
need to watch our
The
videos.
conflicting words were real. I know, like, this is breaking me. like tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go out there and start. I don't know. I might actually break the hi-hat tomorrow. But this is really good. This is really good punk rock fuel, though, if you think about it. Especially for me, of a drummer. Like, you know how Brian gets to sing some of his words? He has to have someone make him mad to sing. Her head swayed slightly, but she never stopped looking at me. Oh, I gotta recommend this to Joey. No, Anime Man. Wait, has he already played this? Because that'd be interesting to watch. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, is that... I had neither the time or the presence of mind to ponder what exactly she meant. I could hear everything lurching beat of my heart. The May sky night itself was deeply silenced. I felt the touch of the wind on my skin, the tender warmth of the night. It was all so far away. There is nothing on this world anymore but these own steps and the two of us. Oh, my voice is becoming shaky. Yeah, I'm good now, I
Actually,
think.
Chris, I want your opinion on this. Do you like this? Because Roadkill, in the original games, he was a junk car, really. He was made out of nothing but rusty parts because the driver was a hobo. So, what do you think about this?
Well, it kind of reminds me of a Mustang, actually.
It is supposed to be a muscle car, but it's just hard to know what all it's made out of.
Yeah. Then
Oh,
a
my gosh,
soft,
he looks good like that, actually.
then a soft warmth. My shoulder broke the silence to bits. Somehow, sometime during this, Minoria leaned herself up against me, and she was giving some secret part of herself into keeping. Right now, it probably looks if we're a pair of lovers, huh? Softly. Softly. Like I said, I don't know if I like you or not, but I didn't see her expression. All I could see, all that made up the words, as I perceived it, was the warmth of her body against my shoulder. You know, I'm really happy right now. It didn't say in my heart. It was so warm. Well, this chair. Good lord. I gotta get a drink. I'm glad I'm not the lead vocalist, because I'd be in trouble from reading this. And there was a lightness to her laughter. She laughed and moved herself. She drew even closer. The pressure on my shoulder felt like a revolution, like coming home. It's so weird, isn't it? All this all this right now. I mean, I want to stay like this forever. Now that would make me happy. That's what I think. I was thinking the same. We'll never see each other again, right? Right. Don't agree with it. Quit your dang job. I mean, screw the big company. I don't care how much money I'm making. Like, in real life, I would literally quit my job for someone like this. Good decision? Yes. In my opinion. But that's just me. Personally.
Really? I'm doing anything for love.
Like, I'm kind of in a band now. I've got a commitment to that. I plan on keeping that. Because I am a drummer. I stick to my guns.
I got the hardest job on the
He's the
guitar.
bassist and vocalist. Like,
Yeah, and I have no clue how to play bass.
now we're trying to recruit someone in to play bass. And slowly, all this had resignation. All this hard resignation inside me was melting away. Things, my heart, the world were changing in this wonderful time, where there was just the two of us. Hey, Minori.
I
Yeah?
think we really ought to do a video on this game.
What? That?
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, we will sometime. Would it be okay if I came back sometime? Didn't you just say that you were never coming back? I changed my mind. Talk about indecisive. And the other time I would have felt miserable, but these were my true feelings. And Minori, she just smiled with happiness and surprise. So if you're gonna come back, then come back. When will that be? I don't know. I'll come. I could be in a month, or it could be in a year. My job assignment involved living in a new place for a year, and they were seriously stingy about letting us have any vacation time. For instance, even on Sundays, I had to be granted permission to hop on a train somewhere. Basically, it was a short leash made of steel and chain links. Screw that company! Like, my dad works for...
Sony.
my dad works for Sony.
Couldn't even remember
One
the
of
name
the biggest companies in the world. And he has more freedom than this guy does.
Chris, check out all the cars. It's Death Warrant, Outlaw, Roadboat, Roadkill, Kamikaze, Heatwagon, Berman, Shadow, Axel. He looks like a nacho.
After all I explained,
Dark Side,
Minori side.
Crimson Fury, Reaper, Sweet Tooth. Doesn't look like an ice cream truck anymore. He looks like a I'm gonna kill you ice truck. Junkyard Dog. I think the green just really suits this guy. Juggernaut.
Okay. After I explained all that, Minori sighed. I don't think I can do it. If I wait for too long, then all my feelings for you will turn to zero, and I'll forget you. She delivered an unvarnished truth. I don't think I could keep candles burning for you, because I probably don't like you all that much. I can live with that. I can't make any promises. Do you understand?
Excuses.
You know? Who knows? Maybe the instant you leave, I'll forget you immediately. No, I'll not forget you. You're really serious about this? The warmth pressed against my shoulders. Shifted slightly, and now there was so much more of it. The night air was chilly, and that was the only part of my skin that was warm. I'm happy, maybe the happiest girl in the world right now, knowing there exists a person who chose me to think about. That's got to be what happiness means. Now this guy, he's not making a bad choice with the girl. He's making a bad choice of picking his job over the girl.
Yeah. Because, really guys, you only got one chance to
Otherwise...
screw up, and if you screw that up, you're just screwed, man.
Like you kinda just got screwed over there.
Okay, shut up. That's his special. Well, his secondary special, but I don't know why the frick he always uses that.
Minori slowly took a deep breath. I could tell that even though I could only feel her through my shoulders. Right. This second, I think I really, really want to see you again. I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. That's how I feel right now. But, sorry, but out of all the girls you could have picked, you picked me. You picked out of a strange one. I don't mind at all. You're so good to me. Oh boy. Oh boy, this better not go there.
Actually, no, let it go there, because if it does, he might change his mind.
I hope he does. Because this pro tag is making me exceedingly mad right now. Like, quit your job. He'd already considered it once before. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care how much the company paid me. Screw you, company. I'm staying with my family.
Actually, I'd do more than just stay with my family. I'd do everything I could for my family.
Same here. Like, even if I have to start a business, like, what we
It
got
wouldn't be
going.
that hard, actually.
I don't know. Science flowed between us with the most gentle thing. Time flowed through the past, still warm stream. Excuse me. If these moments were ours, would stretch out for us, forever and ever. Okay then, I'm going to do my best to remember everything. I won't forget how I feel right now. I think it was that instant that changed our relationship, which was strange to start with changed. Now we were closer than strangers, less than friends and lovers. Knowing each other too well to be strangers, not knowing each other well enough to be friends, but still having total faith in each other. Such a strange relationship. Well, not really. I know people that have actually done this. Completely normal, actually. You know what I mean. The moon was pale. The breeze was true. The world itself was midnight blue. Yes! That's a nice little haiku there, isn't it? I mean, that's a couplet. Never mind. Under the lights, these stairs, I knew all the things that I shared with her this month were victories, for they were now my memories. And I knew that I had not let myself regret or forget, for it was real, so intertwined, her warmth on mine, my grand design. And under the sky of night in May, I knew for would always stay. Our bodies close, waxing warm, where endless faith, life transformed. This is a nice little poem, actually. May was slipping away. Oh man. Chapter 5. Mayflower. Whitney. Oh my. Don't tell me he moved. Please don't. May 31st. Oh, the day of the decision, I think. Can we get to make a decision? Please tell me we do. It was 31st, Tuesday, 9 a.m. I boarded the train heading for the opposite way. The same line I had taken to work for this past month. It was impossible to believe how many seats were empty. The train's interior was instead filled with fresh morning sunlight. Oh, and tabloids danced and swaying around, printed with news and actor and scandals and the like. And we passed the scenery at 80 kilometers per hour, which it really was all a blur. No matter where I looked, I didn't have enough time to really think or consider any of it. Everything was constantly, feverishly running past and behind me. Wait, I gotta pause this for a minute. I got to check on something. That's just earlier. It's just Minecraft recording. I was checking out. Everything was constantly, feverishly running past and behind me. In the middle of an empty car with all these empty seats surrounding me, I found myself standing, leaning against the door, watching everything without understanding anything. Time went by, tick-tock, 1 second, then another, marking out the greater and greater distance from the town I had called home for a month or two.
It's not the town he fell in love with.
It's the town he fell in love with Minori at.
No, still.
Like, literally, I think I can literally call that now, because I left it vague for pretty much the whole series until the last couple episodes, if that's what was going to happen. Like, I am mad at the protagonist for choosing work. Like, I can understand it.
But be reasonable, man. You just broke a girl's heart.
He did promise he would return, though. That's the good thing about it, I believe. I was staring at my cell phone display. Not sure what I thought I'd see there. What did he expect to see? Like, I can call people from my tablet, but I don't know what good that'll do me. I barely knew my way around this thing. The default display came up on today's date, and time lit up on the tiny dotted front. I pressed the button to proceed. The process was unfamiliar. I launched the address, but Minori came up under the K's. Of its own accord, my face twitched into a bitter smile. So I finally got it. Even though it took up until today, geez, we had finally had one heck of a weird relationship. Wait, what happened?
I think you found out the girl works for the same company he works for.
Like, he got her phone number. I don't even know where she works. It never said. The train went to a railway bridge, shaking, clattering,
Actually, she might be on the
shadows.
railway.
I got a feeling like she's on the train and he just doesn't know it.
Yeah, like she's been teasing him the whole entire time about it.
When I looked outside, I could see a remarkable office and residential buildings on the shore. I thought of a small empty shrine somewhere in their midst. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, and inside the train next to the station stopped was announced. Once the train finished crossing the river, I'd be well beyond the city limits. 7:30 a.m. Inside, did this just literally cutscene to Minori's point of view, or is this a flashback? Inside the Kamek Shrine compound was a scratchery of footfalls on the sand that could be heard in the morning air, crisp, sharp, wide open everywhere. It was on the morning of my departure. I had woken up early and was walking toward the shrine. One last thing. Well, even I had to admit this was a dang sentimental thing to do. I turned the corner and found myself at the shrine officially. I was coming to pray for a safe journey, but in reality, good morning. She stood when she saw me. Everything had been preordained, as if she had known I would come. Her robes resplendent in the morning sun. I knew you'd come. You're so easy to figure out, you know. The smile on her face was so dazzling, it hurt to look at. I told her that the day before yesterday I'd never see her again. So how was it that she'd expect me to come today? I was astonished.
Like, I was astonished. This tastes like crap.
What does? I'm not. Were you watching for me to come? Yep. She said as if it were the most natural course of action in the world. Well, it is. But what if I didn't? I knew you would. My head started to spin a little, just as my heart began to beat harder. Am I really that predictable? You're welcome. The outside observer probably wouldn't have seen that our give and take had changed much, if at all. But it had to be a little, maybe just a little bit. Ever since the day the tension had always existed between us, it was slowly fading away. Anyway, I thought I had come here to pray for smooth sailing. So you say, but in reality, I bet you were really thinking, I'm so lonely, Minori, right? Believe whatever you want. It's really it. And because I couldn't deny it. Ah, you know how you're supposed to pray, right? Bow twice, clap your hands twice, and give thanks to the gods. So the shrine grounds
Take the
glowed.
S out of that.
What?
Out of gods. It makes me mad. Just really sorry.
I don't even. What is Shinto? Is it Shintoism? I believe.
It's a weird religion, I'll tell you that much. I've never really looked into it before.
I don't even know. We never learned about it. Not even in my Japanese course at school.
I learned about it in
We-
Mr. Page's Spartan Pride class. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want good social studies teachers, come to Connersville Middle School. No, the social studies teachers here at Connersville Middle School are awesome.
Like Miss Farthing?
Yeah, and Mr. Page. He has the stick.
The magical stick that will disappear then reappear magically?
No, he can't do that. He actually did try that though.
What?
Oh crap.
A shrine. What did he try to do?
I'm trying to make the stick disappear and reappear. Well, he made it disappear through the window.
Did he really throw it out the window?
Yeah, Alex Osterman had just opened up the window.
Wow. The shrine grounds glowed with
Surprisingly,
morning
someone
light.
caught it.
In their head, I hope not.
No, it was in their hand.
But it was spring morning and kind of a refreshed, crisp, cool breeze through the trees and quiet rustling. A path stretched alongside the shrine. School children and salarymen were heading to their respective destinations. And I heard Minori mumble, "I think I can still make it on time." Even though I realized, even though I was going to leave, maybe forever, in a few hours, this world would continue in its own peaceful way without me. Aw, man. Gotta.
It just brushed up
Ah, not again. Gotta get going to school, which is, I'll just barely make it at this rate. She pushed the robe sleeve back and revealed a wristwatch. It's such a mismatched sight that it would have been hysterical if not for the fact that I was used to it by now. Yeah, 'cause you've been bumming around here. Oh man, that's harsh. Aren't you going to thank me for being nice enough to wait here for you? The words coming out of her mouth were sharp, but they were gentle with laughter in her eyes. The entire time. No, gotta run. Yep, take care. Yes, sir. Why does that sound like something John would say? She took off running for a moment. Oh, Minori, wait. She stopped in her tracks. Give me your cell number, will you? Man, I should have done that a long time ago. Or at least, that's what the annoyed smile on her face was telling me. Okay, this time I really gotta get going. I'm really going. Sure. Good luck with everything. I'm actually talking like I'm talking to someone. Might as well be. Yeah, you too. Okay. She turned and ran off, but before she had gone too far, she looked over her shoulder, where I was still standing. She stared at me for a few seconds, then she smiled and waved back and took off again. The shrine grounds were completely empty. Empty other than me. The only sound to be heard was the small, quiet breeze. Huh, that was weird. So on this day of departure, a guy who was leaving town was seeing the girl on her way to school. A normal relationship, she had been seeing me off right now. Weird.
I screwed up, man.
That is funny. A million meetings and partings come and go, many of them on the same piece of ground. Surely ours wasn't the only one delivered in such a completely unromantic way. That's all I could think as I watched your figure recede into the distance and disappear. I turned about and left the shrine grounds. The May sky was high and far above me, full of cirrostratus clouds. Yeah, doesn't that mean it's gonna rain? Cirrostratus clouds. I think that means it's gonna. No, it is filler clouds. Spreading out as far as the eye could see. It would be a long, long time before I tread these grounds again. August 28th. Whoa, Jesus. That is like 2 months in the future. August 28th, Sunday. There was a Sunday. There was on a Sunday. The only person in the entire office building. The only sounds in my room were near silent sounds of me working and clanking on the air conditioner. And the clanking of the air conditioner. The summer was truly here. Outside these windows were blazing sun trying to microwave the earth with its light rays. Actually, August is the worst time of the year to be out. And guess what? We get to go to school in that. Hey, we get to start high school and we get to walk from building to building outside in it. I slowed my typing a little
Find out what's frozen.
and turned
It's not the
to
game.
look outside. What?
It's my controller.
Your controller's broke.
It's what's freezing.
I guess this. Well, it's sweaty. Try using a controller. I'm sure. Yeah, there's one over there in mine. And give your controller. I slowed my typing a little and turned to look outside. I had been allotted this.
That's why I need to bring it back up controllers.
I'd been allotted some summer vacation time, but I had no chance to go anywhere outside of this town. Because just like today, I'd been continuously on call. Basically, I was a dog with a collar and a short leash. There was no getting more than a certain distance away from the office. 3 months had passed since that time. By now, I had adapted to living and working here. May seem to be a thing of the distant past. Jeez, I know how that feels.
See?
So is my controller working?
Yep.
Even the skies outside were wider and higher and deeper than the ones I had marveled at back then. Suddenly, I spotted my cell phone. The display showed no blinking or flashing indicating a new text message. Almost automatically, my mouth twisted into a wry smile. All the text messages I had sent off to the Shrine Maiden, not one had been responded to. Every single time that happened, I'd always ended up going, "Oh, I'll give it another try. I'll give it a try another week. And then I'll send another."
Oh, man. What the heck just happened to the screen? It zoomed in like a lot.
Okay, do you know how to fix this?
That can't be done with the remote. It's the game that did it. Not only was I not freaking out over this, but I in fact was looking forward to seeing another message off. Weird, wasn't it? My smile resolved and relaxed itself. Minori Kame couldn't help but be this way. The sound of my keyboard, the sunlight, which was far brighter than the fluorescent bulbs overhead, filled my office this summer Sunday. Wait, is she just gonna show up in his office? The rest of the
Well,
civilized
That's what happens. And she looks at him and says, "What are you still doing here? Don't you know the place got abandoned?"
the rest of the civilized world on summer vacation, but that didn't matter to me much to me. It wasn't like I had any complaints about my situation. I couldn't count the times I thought this really sucks, for instance. But you know what? For the first time, I was enjoying my. Oh God! Dang it, my cough.
Chris knows what would have happened if I was that guy. I would be wearing it.
Stick of dynamite in the building. Boom.
It's either that or a janitor walks in, opens up my door, and he sees me with my pants on my head, and I just look straight at him like, I can't find my pants. Can you help me?
The sound of my keyboard. Nah. The sky was a brilliant blue. The white vapor trail stretched throughout, as if I were reaching for something. Lips. This is actually a really, really considered apartment for Japan. They're known for small apartments. I entered my apartment, which had been busily storing up the summer heat for me. I reflexively switched on the air conditioner. My work shirt was so sweaty that the fabric was clinging to my skin. I peeled it off pronto and tossed it aside. By now, I had lived longer here than I had lived in that town. I threw open the fridge and grabbed a can of iced tea and chugged it down. There's only a little plant potted in this little vase sitting by the corner of the window. It had no flowers, and a totally 20-centimeter stem which had sprouted small leaves. By now, I'd gotten into the habit of looking at it when I got home. It'd be a little while longer until I came back for this Mayflower to bloom. Lipsy. I purchased this thing at the end of June. A colleague was getting married, so I had gone and buy some flowers for the occasion. I hadn't intentionally noticed, indeed. It looked pathetic, even now, but the tag read Mayflower. Was more than enough reason for me to buy it. And at night, I scorned the corner of my windowsill. Family, Aracean, Genesis. Okay, I don't know any of this. Got my name. Okay. Funny how Mayflower 2, given that it was supposed to bloom the first week of June. Wouldn't it be a June flower?
It's called a Mayflower for a reason. I can't remember why.
I stared at my Mayflower quietly and watched the moisture slowly dripping off its leaves. I watched patiently as I gazed at the flower that somehow had become the gateway to my memories in the time far away, to my time in that faraway town. Go back, man.
I don't
Each
think
heart.
you can.
Screw the company.
Dude, you might be locked in there.
Like I'd literally just say, screw you guys, I'm leaving.
Nah.
That's my resignation.
2 fingers salute. That's the biggest insult, and then you punch whatever it is.
Each heartbeat, I felt a little lonely, and now a lot restless and irritated. One of these days I would return, and that was the prayer that ran through my every fiber. It was unfulfilled. I stared at my Mayflower quietly. I watched the moisture slowly dripping down its leaves. I heard a muffled, distant explosion, and then it burst. A brilliant fireworks lit up the summer sky, exploding in the distance, in all colors. chill from the air at the AC was getting rid of some of the oppressive, dismal heat in my cage room of a room. I stared at the Mayflower. Quietly. I watched moisture slowly dripping down from its leaves. Aching, restless in my heartbeat was growing worse and worse. Yes, impatience had grabbed my spirit and was squeezing me like a vice, and it was growing worse and worse. So maybe this horrible feeling was what they called love. Maybe. April?
Oh no! Oh. I hate that thing.
This just jumped a year later. April 16th. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Our
one
return
day
day.
off of my birthday. I feel special.
Those words were so contents of my 23rd text message to her. This decision was my vow. Half a day later, a reply came, and it turned out the first thing that she had designed to me in a year was a nice quick slapdown. It was so like her it made me smile. I'm not holding my breath.
So you got hiccups?
I'm laughing because now it's actually kind of funny. I'm glad he's going back, but and that night I was so happy, and I also did cry. What? Just a little. Mate, this is trippy. Like, it's May 31st. I had finished a long year's work assignment, and my recognition of my slavish work and achievements, they awarded me with a reassignment to the film headquarters plus a week's vacation. I had already found a new apartment and settled a move-in date. I didn't manage the exact area that I lived in before, but it would be fairly close. Whitey's moving back. May 31st, the day I left this town. The day I'd come back to it. I stepped out of the train station. I stepped off the train and into the station. It had been a whole year. The neighborhood I spread out before me, every bit in every house and every store, unchanged from before. The vibrant, fresh green leaves, the trees, the roads rustled in the wind. Yes, they looked just as May should. Is my face cam even plugged in? Nope. No, I'm good though. Like, it's something I don't really care about, so don't worry about that. No face cam. That means you could have shut the lights off the whole time. Oh well.
I'm doing that now. I prefer gaming in the dark, in case you guys were wondering, so.
Yeah.
It's so that way I could see the screen better.
Seek fragrance of grass, trees, and vibrance of life. When I looked up, I saw things, wisp of cirrostratus clouds in the vast sky, like I had remembered it. The sky held the warmth of a gentle sun. Really, it could be argued that May was the single best time out of the year. The place made me chuckle and set my feet down on the road to a certain place. The steps grew lighter and lighter. My impatience in my heart grew higher and higher. I passed my old apartment complex just a little farther. I was totally unrestrained, childishly excited about this. I was so eager that I couldn't even resented the time that I wasted by waiting for a traffic light. I felt spring all around me, and every facet of the unimaginably beautiful day performed faint fragrance of flowers and the resonance of the trees. And in the middle of all this, blending into the joy of it all, I heard a piano. Just like the first time. Although it was hard to make out unless I stopped and listened with care, it certainly reached me. reached me because I had heard it once before. A gust of wind rustled through the branches and leaves. Piano music continued past, with the white noise just a little weakened. I walked along the sunset road, ears strained to hear the thread of the melody. The way a drowning man gasped for a lifeline he couldn't even see. At the soothing, heartwarming music came from inside the shrine and filled the temple's courtyard. The Kamek shrine hadn't changed a bit over the past year. The texture sand under my shoes, inviting openness of the courtyard, the sound of the trees swaying in the wind, shadow cast by sunlight. None of these had changed. I hear a piano. Its note resounded in the mist. This is how it opened. May. The days marked with scattered cherry blossoms were long past. The days scorched by blazing sun were yet to come. May was in between. May is uncertain of itself. May was ambiguous and ambiguous. A gentle whisper of its warmth to my skin, soothing and inviting like a lullaby. I remember reading this the very first time. The air was beginning to take the faintest hint of moisture. The rainy season was close by waiting. May, a month that arrives, whether you want it to or not, just by walking a few blocks from the beginning. A month where everything's still new and everything's settling in. It's been a long time since I've saved. Like, literally, it's almost been 2 hours since I last saved. Well, everything's still settling, and month sees the rest of the year spread out in its very eyes, for the better or for worse. A month only a little after the beginning, with the end still long ways off. A little strange, a little confusing, and beguiling in time. Under skies this season, a piano was singing a song. I sat down on the stove steps, letting the nostalgia touch and sweep me, listening to the timbres following behind me and past me. The spring sun was shining more beautifully, more brilliant, more clearly than ever. A soft, gentle wind blew. My clothes were ever so slightly in the breeze. I hear a piano. Its notes resounded in the May sky. It was almost 4 times the lattice door to open. May was ending. Is that the end of the game? Please tell me. That's the end of the game, isn't it? Is there like a sequel to this, please? Someone tell me that.
There better be.
I'm gonna play it if there ever is
Where,
such
like,
a thing.
in the sequel, they're what's her face and the guy have kids.
I want to at least know what happened to him. I don't care. Someone do something about
Or
this.
worse, the girl finds out that the guy is not a guy.
That's not even funny.
I know, but it'd be hilarious to me.
It wouldn't be to me. That'd make me mad. This is final thoughts. This game was great. I recommend it highly.
I did if you want to cry your eyes out.
Why is my internet dropping bars? Like I've got 1 bar left. My internet literally just took a crap on itself.
I'm so nice I showed mercy to 2 people that never even deserved it. Because they were already dying.
This was released in 2008. Created by Scrubby. Thank you for playing. That's it. Oh! Yeah, I forgot. When I'm done playing with my playing for the day, my hands are still on the keyboard. I can feel some liquid dripping on them.
It's not liquid, bud. That's
I have
sweat.
no idea where tears are coming from, but it seems right that they should fall down my cheeks, leaving trails in their wake. This will be the first and last time I cry because of him. The seasons have gone once again, and now it's May 31st. The day ends, so too does this month. Yeah, I told him that I wasn't going to hold my breath. But I think maybe that's exactly what I've been doing this whole entire... Oh, this is Minori's thoughts. Took me a bit to figure that out, but...
Oh boy.
What?
That means that game's gonna take forever to finish, man.
No, I'm literally at the end of it. What else can I do? Like, the credits have already ran. I wipe my tears with my sleeve and straighten out my clothes. I start to stand. When I rise and open the door, I close the door on my love.
You wanna grab the other controls? That way we can do this now?
Last chapter of the game, and it's after the credits have rolled.
That makes sense.
This makes no sense. June 17th. I thought I was... My cell phone screen tells me I have received a text message from him. This one's the third one he sent so far. I press the button. The message comes up. Characters open on the screen. There's so much kindness in them that it's too much for me. I read it without emotion. Then I flipped my phone back down without even bothering to reply. My girlfriends tell me that this is a stupid thing to do. I think so too. And I'm thinking it's a big mistake. You know, that's always been Minori Kamake's stance. This is her true stance, so this is like info on her. It's always been the coldest part of me, but I am the one I only show to him is the one I never show to anyone else. That's why I'm prepared to keep holding this stance, even if my heart tightens and shatters with pain, just as it is now. He has no idea what he's done, but he's
Happy.
they're neither one happy about this. If they would have confessed it earlier. I really have no idea why I'm reacting to this. Why am I doing this? I don't know much. But why do I know this? It's important for me to hold on to this stance. For me to be me. How long then? How long will this temperance, which I selfishly explain away by going, oh, he'll understand, continue. It's raining today. It may shower just like that day. It's 2 weeks that flown by since he left. For some faraway place. Everything's starting its own June. In its own way, nothing has changed. Myself hasn't changed either. It didn't make much sense at all. But even so often, whenever I think we will never meet again, a little pain shoots through my chest. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe someday. After a few months pass, I'll forget everything. Maybe someday, I'll wake up and be able to think of all of that is so many good memories. Maybe someday the crushing disappointment that I get every time I open that lattice door after my piano practice will finally be gone. Through the window I can see the June sky and its May showers. 2 weeks have already flown since he left for some faraway place. Although the feelings remain unforgettable, no matter how hard I try. December 27th. That's 2 days after Christmas, right? Yeah. No, 1 day after Christmas. December 27th. Spring's long gone. Summer's distant memory. Autumn is in the past, and now it's winter. His 22nd text message reads, implied message, I want to come back, and I can't come back. Like all of his messages. I spent Christmas alone. Half a year's already gone past, and my feelings for that May are becoming vague. I don't know about them as much as I used to either. A good day, and on a good day, I get myself wondering if it's finally come to time for them to become good memories. And he sends a message that then my heart's breaking all over again. Oh my God, this is like torture for both of them. And I am dreadfully lonely. This is...
I do not face this.
Why doesn't she send him this? Like... This would have been persuasion to come home. Or back.
Yeah.
And then when the messages stopped coming all of a sudden, the pain. I thought I had left behind the memories. They just come roaring back. It may be getting a little weaker, sure, but it's still tormenting me. Unending. I started at the lightest rain. It started as light rain this morning. Now it's snow. And the world's beginning to freeze over. And all I can think of is its warmth of that time long ago. So maybe this suffering is what they call love. My birthday is January 12th, 2 weeks from now.
Why'd you have a birthday party, really?
Yeah. But of course, he wouldn't send me a happy birthday message or anything like that. Well, he doesn't know if you don't tell him. Oh, good lord.
I know. Honey, this is what happens when two killer cars love each other very, very much. Shows a picture of Gravedigger and a couple other monster trucks.
So I continue to wait for this man who doesn't even know when my birthday is. Well, you never said anything exactly.
Yeah, a-hole.
What?
I'm calling the protagonist an a-hole.
This is Minori here. Like, Minori never said anything to him when her birthday was, April 16th. I'll return in May. That's his 23rd message to me. Says it's the first time he's used the word return. It's taken me half a day to compose myself enough to send him a reply. It has to be something completely opposite of what I actually feel. Wow.
So she doesn't really like him at all?
No, she said that she wasn't holding her breath. So, meaning that she's not going to wait for him any longer. In reality, she is. Not to be any offense here, but that's funny. Can't make it up. It has to be something nice and different and neutral. Something very me. And so my first word to him after a year read like this. I'm not holding my breath. Then I run to my calendar immediately and draw a big circle around the entire month of May. May 31st. Finally! This is the day I wanted to see. I was playing the piano under the blue skies of May in the Kamek Shrine. It'd been 31 days since May began. Every single day I have come to play the piano. Every single day it's been a concerted one. Normally I had only come to play the days I have off, but throughout all May there's not been a single day when I haven't come to play. And yet the audience I've been waiting for hasn't come yet. The weekend's over and it's Wednesday. There's no way he'll come today. So I've just about given up. My fingers remember the song. My mind wanders as they move pretty much on their own, making music he so loves. After today, I won't come to play the piano here ever again. Wow, this is lucky. This is the day he shows up. I won't be able to touch this thing until time heals these wounds. I can't look back at these events fondly. He told me he'd return, but he hasn't. I won't be able to keep him in my heart anymore. Oh my God. This is like true nick of time stuff here. Because if I don't, I may not be able to bear the emptiness I'm surely feel once the music dies today. And so I resign myself from the bottom of my heart. And if I don't, I may not be able to bear the emptiness. I'll surely feel once. Yeah. I'm done playing for the day. My hands are still on the keyboard. I can feel some liquid. Yeah. Do I really have to read this again? So I just read it. Where the tears are coming from, but it seems right. This will be the first time and the last time I cry because of him. Let's see. Seasons have gone once again. I read this the first couple minutes ago. I'm gonna hold my breath. Maybe. I told him that I wasn't gonna hold my breath, but I think maybe that's exactly what I've been doing this entire time. Yeah, I read that. What can I do? Wipe the tears with my sleeve and straighten out my clothes and start to stand? When I rise and open the door, I open the door to see the roof and blue sky beyond that. And under that, the high blue May sky, those familiar stone steps, I finally see him smiling gently, his form bathed in the soft sunlight. I finally see what I've waited for all year, and now to see again. He's right here in front of me, the one I've been waiting for all this time. My mind goes completely blank. Well, sorry I'm so late, Minori. In a year, he's gotten a little more grown up and a little more sunburned. My heart is pretty much exploding in my chest. You're so late, I've completely forgotten you. I know how hard my voice is trembling, but I don't care. I can't bear to take my eyes off him right now. Who would ever thought this would have happened from the beginning? Like, I read the description, so I basically knew how it was ending. So all these feelings just kept welling up and are big and so strong. I don't know what's what anymore. There. A man who picked me for his very own right in front of my eyes, the man I've kept in my heart for this time is right in front of me. My eyes, that's everything. Everything. I started running toward him. I forget to put on my shoes. I'm completely senseless. To the stone steps at my feet with sunlight on my skin. Because there's something I need to tell him. Something true and good and pure that's inside me. I've been storing for an entire year. I've wanted to see you so much. I've been waiting this entire time. The next thing I know, he's holding me like I'm I'm not just his to borrow. His arms wrap around me, strong yet gentle. The warmth I've longed waiting for right here. It's right here. The place I want as my own is right here. At this side. Okay, this is high five. The man I always want to be with is right here. So this is what she thought of him. The May sky spreads out high above us, and its blueness and clarity. Like, this is clearly put here. Like, most of them's been actually real paintings of some sort. The gentle sun showers its affection down on us, and it's formed from a high place in the heavens and spheres. May is ending, and under the skies of June, and every one month, and every other month to come, we are beginning. Is he gonna roll the credits again? Finn, yes!
No.
This has probably been one of the best stories I've ever read. Created by Scrub.
Scrub.
There you go. Whoa!
Scrub-a-doo-doo.
Okay, I guess I've unlocked the extras. Like start, load, music. Yeah, this has been a Let's Play of May Sky, obviously, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, because I have thoroughly, actually. And next thing I'll probably be doing is Voices from the Sea. Like, I'll probably spam these episodes up on YouTube, so you probably might get this by the end of this week. What am I
Probably.
talking about? It is the end of this week.
Yeah.
The end of this coming week, I guess, because, yeah, I've enjoyed this game. I'm actually kind of sad that Jared missed the end of it.
You didn't care, bro.
He kind of got interested in some aspects of it, but he was kind of expecting...
A very perverted ending, as usual.
Yeah.
Never ceases to fail me.
Well, anyways, I thank you guys for watching this so much. It's not very many people did. I'm kind of sad about that, because this was a great story. I'm a sci-fi freak, so this was probably way out of my range. Like, way out of my range. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Which it might be Amnesia, I hope it is. So, yeah. Bye-bye. Peace, peoples. Yeah. Keep it cool.
Did it.